Raise your hand. Anybody ever been to Jerusalem? Raise your hand. Or you're from Jerusalem? No? We got to get us a trip from Norway to Quds one day, inshallah. In Jerusalem, there's a garden called the Garden of, anybody know? Gethsemane, where Jesus went. And this garden is outside the city. It's not inside of the ancient Al-Quds, it's outside. So Jesus left the city, and he went with his disciples and he stopped somewhere at a garden and he told them at the gate, watch. Watch for what? That means if somebody comes, deal with it. Just watch, because I have some business to handle. Got some business I need to deal with. So Jesus walked down this road, and what did he do? Anyone know? What did he do? Did he go hype himself up to get ready for this crucifixion? He went and he fell on his face and he prayed. Let me tell you something right now. God doesn't pray. God doesn't need to pray. Jesus fell on his face and prayed. And what did he pray? He prayed so fervently, which let me tell you right now, this portion of fervently, drops of blood, this is not a very authentic, I'm just going to say it because this is what's in the King James. He fell on his face and prayed so hard that his sweat became as if it were drops of blood. This is a man who needs his prayer answered. I don't know if any of you have ever put your face on the ground and prayed to God so hard that your sweat almost became as if you were bleeding from your pores. If so, you had a serious prayer going on. And what was his prayer? Father, if it be, let this cup pass from me. Father, if it be, let this cup of torture that I'm about to endure pass from me. Meaning, let this thing called crucifixion go away from me. Why? Because he understood if they crucify me, they'll never believe in me. I've failed my mission. If I go to the cross, the people that I was sent as a Messiah to save will not believe. He said, but nevertheless, whatever is your will, that's what I will do. Submitting to the will of God. Yesterday we defined submitting to the will of God as what? What is the Arabic word for submitting to the will of God? It's called Islam. Jesus said, I want this cup to pass from me, but nevertheless, whatever is your will, that's what I'll do. And that's where we're going to end it. Because there's a plethora of different theories about what happened after that. And we don't know. But one thing I do know for sure is that Jesus came to save the children of Israel from the detriment that they had placed themselves in. And he did so by trying to bring them back not only to the law of God, but to a personal spiritual relationship with their Creator. He tried to remove this hierarchy where there were people who were higher in God just because of a title that they possessed. He tried to teach people that the only greatness in front of God is your piety, is your righteousness, is your works, is what you do, not who you are and what hat you wear. And Jesus really was concerned about the souls of humanity. He was here to save their souls. He was so sincere that he even said, Father, just like they're in my hand, they're in your hands. They're in your hands now. I gotta go. They're up to you now. And he left. And he left. However you say he left, he left. But for sure, we can say one thing about Jesus. He's coming back. Christians believe that. Muslims believe that as part of our aqidah. Jesus will return and set the record straight. And we will argue about it day in, day out, night in, night out, weekend, month, year, until that happens. And when he comes, he will set the record straight. But one thing I want to finish with is a verse from the Quran that speaks about Jesus and his birth and his first miracle. It was not turning water into wine. His first miracle recorded in the Quran, which is a book that is purely from God, unchallenged for 1400 plus years. This verse says that when Jesus was born, Mary, the best woman, one of the best women to ever walk the face of this globe, she brought this baby in front of her family and they said, what kind of wickedness, what kind of craziness have you brought before us? You've never been married before and you have a baby. Mary didn't even need to defend herself. This is what I found beautiful about the story of Jesus' birth in the Quran. In the Bible, there is no clarification on how Mary defended the accusations of adultery. But she pointed at the baby and said, ask him. Let him speak for himself. He was an infant. And Jesus said, very beautifully, that I, Jesus, was sent as a prophet and a messenger. I'm just summarizing it for you because then we're ending. And my mother is of purity and chastity. And I have been made to be forbearing to her all the days of my life. And peace is on me. The day that I was born, the day that I will die, and the day that I will be resurrected unto life. And then God says in the Quran, this is a statement of truth about Jesus, the son of Mary, of which they vainly dispute about. And he said, the God, creator of all mankind, that Jesus to me, Jesus to me is like Adam. I created him from dust, and I said to him, be, and he was. So this is Jesus, into the best of my capacity that I could do in running over time. Any questions that you have, come out, but make your own decision. Jew, Christian, or someone who submitted to the will of God. Thank you very much for your time and patience, and I look forward to you after.